Okay guys, this is the grossest thing I've ever seen. Getting ready, my brake rebuild kit should come tomorrow, so I just thought, well, I should start taking apart the master cylinder. And it took me for frickin' ever to get this thing out of here. And then look at that. Oh my God. So, 45 years of dried and grunk brake fluid. That's what it looks like. Too much fun. All right, more coming soon. Okay guys, day 4, and really not day 4, but I've been working on a couple hours in the evening and then maybe 4 hours this afternoon, Saturday afternoon. I got some more parts in. I'll show you some over there. These are all to the front headlight assembly. And just a reminder, when you're buying stuff off of eBay, you know, ask questions, I guess. I kind of got snookered. I went by some of the photos. This guy was selling a full headlight assembly, the headlight that you see there, 2 turn signals. It had a tach and a speedometer. The tach, you could tell the lens was fogged over on the inside, so it had a crack in it. But yeah, it was $70, and I thought, you know, that's not a bad deal, and it looked good in the photos. So I bought it. When it showed up, you know, looked good in the box, and as soon as you picked it up to turn it over, the bottom was all rusted out. Actually, I think I still have it thrown out. Ooh, the headlight assembly. Back is giving me issues. So again, you know, I knew it had, this is kind of how the guy photoed it, you know, in from the front like that. But look, in the bottom it's got this gaping hole in it. Yeah, it is a mess. So unfortunately that's going in the trash. I put it in some evapor-rust and it only got worse. I hate to do that, but that's a goner. The headlight, or the turn signal assemblies, again, really pitted, didn't show that well. And you know, I got to take some blame here, because I could have said, hey, send me some more photos, because send them some questions, and I really didn't. But you can kind of see there, it's pitted. I had to actually drill these out, and these have already sat 24 hours in the evapor-rust. By the way, they were horrific. But I had to drill out the lenses, because these screws, I mean, actually one of these, when I opened it up, it was about 3/4 filled with water. So I have no idea if this thing was sitting in a lake or what. But yeah, I'm still going here on whether I can save some of these. These just came out. I'll put them on the buff wheel and see what we can do. I did get some, you know, I salvaged what I could, and that's kind of part of it. I got these lenses, which is really good. The cups that the tach and speedometer go into, which are kind of hard to come by. So I was able to salvage those. Because the headlight hadn't been taken apart, which again, I had to drill it out to do that, all the original hardware was on the inside. So, you know, that's kind of nice. I guess I made out all right. It's just, you know, when you're expecting one thing and something else shows up, you feel kind of disappointed. Let me show you this is the chrome, which again, I knew it was going to be rough and that I could probably polish it, but once I got it, I mean, just look at that. And I soaked that for 2 days in evapor-rust. And you know, this part cleaned up all right, but if you hold it just right, you can see the light start to come through the rust. So it's just too far gone. oops, hit the button. I don't think there's any way to save that. So, yeah, lesson learned on that. But another dealer that I dealt with out of Wisconsin, I think he was a junkyard dealer, I got my new handlebars, my new old handlebars. So got rid of the drag racer ones down there, and I got these up where they're going, and I'm still putting together the front parts. I also got my center stand down there from him, as well as some tail lights, and those are, you know, what I expected exactly. You know, a little bit of rust, you know, and no problems. So I had to take the mufflers off to get that center stand on there, and it gives me extra 3 inches, which is nice, and also allows me access now to the rear wheel, so I can start on the rear brakes, which I haven't done this weekend, but I was going to do, but really there's plenty of stuff to do. I did get the front caliper rebuilt, and we'll walk in my office here in a minute, and I'll show you guys the caliper rebuild. I also found out the master cylinder. I ordered a master cylinder rebuild kit for this, and it took me a while. I mean, it was like 3 or 4 days, and I had to modify. I had to got my grinder out over there. Had to grind down my little snap ring tool to get it skinny enough to fit into the tube for the master cylinder to pry open the C-clip to pull it out. And I got it out, and that's the first part of the video that you see all that gunk in there. I was kind of impressed that I got that out. It took me forever to grind that tool down. But then I got the rebuild kit, and it was like severely larger, and I thought they'd sent me the wrong rebuild kit, because this master cylinder looked like it belonged on this bike. It was aged the same. But I called the guy HVC Cycle. So they specialize in a lot of rd350s. Matter of fact, this guy has rebuilt a couple of them. They're on his website. Beautiful, beautiful bikes. Did a great job. And talked to him for a minute, and we looked at some numbers on the master cylinder, and sure enough, it's a 12 millimeter, and what was originally on this bike is something called a 5/8 bore, a totally different size. They order a rebuild kit for this, or not a rebuild kit, but a reproduction master cylinder. It's like $54, so it's brand new, but you know, reproduction. If I were to buy a old master cylinder off of eBay, it'd be $30 to $50 plus shipping, and then another $35 for the rebuild kit. So I shipped him back the wrong sized rebuild kit, and I'm going to order the reproduction master cylinder for this, which is going to be all right because this is a reproduction switch anyway. So it's all good. But I took off the mufflers here. You can see I've been polishing. Matter of fact, there's my Coke and my Reynolds wrap. Got them all over the bottom of them. Since I had them off to put that center stand on, I thought, well, you know, I might as well take the time to really, really clean them. And they're looking really good. There's just a couple places, and you can't even see it from here, where there's some road rash. And I haven't really high-powered polished them yet, but those are looking really, really good. So while I was waiting on other things and just, you know, half hour here, half hour there, I went ahead and started stripping some of the body parts. Here is the gas tank. It is kind of what I feared. There is a lot of Bondo on there. And I ended up using that aircraft stripper to spray it down. And you can actually see, I don't know if you can see here, but it actually brought up part of some parts of the Bondo. So I'll have to sand a little bit. Maybe you can see better here. Yeah, See that peeling off. So we'll have to strip down, sand that, maybe patch it some more. Tank doesn't look horrific, and I'm okay with it. I mean, it's going to be painted. The inside's good. I treated that all. I tried the apple cider and then went to the muriatic acid. And the inside looks really good. Started to strip on the bottom here, and I need to use the aircraft remover for the first go, and then I'll use this. I've got this non-toxic citric thing. This is the biggest deal, where you can see the patching on the bottom here. So I'll smooth that out and make it all look good. I think these guys were just in a hurry when they did it, and since this was on the bottom, they didn't care, but I do. So there's the gas tank. Started on this side over here. This is your oil tank. It's metal. Again, I got to do the citric around there. I didn't want to get in there with the with that really harsh aircraft remover around that rubber seal. But it all came off really good. Sprayed it down, even watered it down, and it cleared out a bunch of gunk that was on the window, so I can actually see through. Don't know if you can tell, but you can actually see through into the oil tank now. Really, I don't understand why those torque induction stickers didn't come off with the aircraft remover. You would have thought they would have, but they didn't. But I've got to sand this, and I'm still, now that I've got the paint off, I should be able to pull this a lot easier. I had tried to do some pulling on it, but with the spray paint they used, it just popped off that layer spray paint. So now that I'm down to bare metal, I should get some decent pulls out of there, and I think I can pull it out. This side is plastic. I used the citrus stuff on it, and then I sprayed a little bit of that aircraft remover on here. I didn't leave it for more than probably 30 seconds to get some of the hard spots, but it's going to have to be sanded down anyway to get most of that. That paint just bonds to that plastic like nobody's business. But those are our body parts. Looking good. Let's see, what else have we been working on? I won't show you, but I did get this thing to kick over. Maybe a 5-10 second run. Spraying carb cleaner into the carbs. I got my electrical problem worked out. So basically I took off the side cover down here. Had about 3/4 to an inch of grease all inside this stuff. So that took me forever to fill out. And then I found, you can't hardly see it. Let me get that wire out here. Here we go. The neutral switch. This neutral switch was not connected. It was off down here. So I think that was causing part of my spark. And I found that when I was cleaning out in here, verified that, you know, this was indeed in neutral, and it is now. And then I started getting spark on my spark plug. So that let me know all my electrical wiring that I was worried about up here and under the seat was good. So I sprayed some carb cleaner in there, kicked it over 3-4 times, and she sputtered and came to life. I think this was Tuesday or Wednesday night. I was working out here late. But again, you know, I'm posting this on Saturdays, but it's been not more than 8 hours I've put in all week. You know. But that, yeah, really encouraging. We've got some signs of life now. So I feel really confident that everything's going to run. So let me take you into the office here. I'll show you what I'm doing with the tach and speedometer, the caliper. And they just actually arrived this morning. Got the gauge console that these sit in. Before I go though, here are all the rubber parts that I was able to save from the bad headlight and that were on the tack and speedometer. A couple of them are cut really bad, but I think I can take contact cement, rubber contact cement, and fix them. But first, what I'm going to try, I ordered some wintergreen oil, and I've read this that you soak these, I think it's 1 part wintergreen oil to 4 parts isoporic alcohol, 91%. Let them set for 24 hours, and it supposedly brings everything back to life and makes it real spongy. This is actually one of the inner parts. This is one of the outer parts, and it's a little harder. But I've got headlight gaskets in there that I was able to salvage when I took those turn signals off, so the gaskets that go between the turn signals and the headlights. So hopefully I'll be able to salvage those, which is really nice. And then right now I've got in there the headlight. I have no idea if this headlight works. It's a sealed headlight. This is a Vapo Rust, by the way. If you don't know about this stuff, it's really great. I picked it up at O'Reilly's. I think Lowe's has it. I don't think Walmart does. I think I looked for it the other day. Non-toxic, biodegradable. You don't have to wear gloves, but I usually do if I'm going to have my hands soaking in there. And basically, you take your rusty part, drop it in there, and in 24 hours, it's golden. So it did a great job on these. I should have taken some before shots here, but the bottom, you can still kind of see the dark spots. That was all solid block of rust. And now I can polish these up, and of course we're going to end up painting them again, even though they're mainly covered. This is what the tack and speedometers go into to protect them from the elements, or one of them anyway. But really great stuff, cheap. A quart of that, $6. I ended up buying a gallon for $20. So, yeah. Got a lot of little things going. So let's go into the office and I will show you the tack and speedometers. This is the box my handlebars and stuff came in. You can see I've got some rear tail lights in there that I also got from this guy in Wisconsin. Here's my rebuilt caliper. So new seals, got all the gunk out of there, cleaned it up real good, and she's ready to go back on the bike. So that's really exciting, but I'm gonna wait till I get my master cylinder, obviously. Before I started getting that, got a new reproduction boot. My old boot was torn. Here's some more parts that'll probably soak in that wintergreen stuff just to make them more pliable. Put them back to normal. Here's the tack and speedometer. Let's see if I get this to focus a little bit better. So first of all, we got wiring harness, which doesn't look too bad. There's some rust in here, and actually you can see the old light bulbs. Okay, so I got that out of the $70 deal, which is good. So I think I'm all right there. I have cleaned these up a little bit. They were, gosh, awful grimy, and washed them. I didn't submerge them, but washed them. So what you're going to do with the tacks here, you can kind of see this one. This one is sealed down there. It's been crimped. And what I've been doing here is I took a dental pick at first to kind of get up underneath there, and then took just a generic screwdriver and started going around opening that up, and I still need to go around. This is probably 30 minutes worth of work, guys. I think I've gone around that maybe 5 or 6 times already. But once you get that lip open, then, and this is the tachometer. This is the one I knew was all cruddy. Let me focus to go again. There we go. Then this chrome seal will come off, and that will give me access to the dial and the pins. And of course I can replace the glass. I'll look at, you can take off these 2 screws back here, and then the whole guts back here. So there should be a lot of plastic parts, I'm hoping. My fear is that there might be metal parts in here. And if so, with this thing being underwater and its history of rust that I've seen so far, these things are not going to be repairable. But if it is plastic parts on the inside, like the little worm drives and all of that, and they're not broken, I should be able to restore this. I can get replacement front dials. This is flat glass, so I can just go to a glass store and have them cut me a new cylinder, and you know, hopefully I can restore these. If not, then we're looking at buying new used on eBay, and a pair of these could go upwards of $100. Sometimes you can find them single. This is the speedometer over here. This one's got what, 12,582.62. And it doesn't look too bad, but you can see rust on the inside, so that means there has been water in there, and that's my biggest fear. This is the adjustment knob for the mileage, and it does not move at all, so a little worried about that. It may, again, just be frozen from gunk and sitting in what I'm lovingly referring to as somebody's swamp. So so these just came today, so I ordered this. This is actually the front console of the bike. This one is not too bad. It's got some scratching on it. You can get, hard to do with one hand. You can see this is coming up. It's unglued. You can buy a new front bezel that just glues down on there if you want. But this one doesn't look too bad. A little bit of delamination there. And then I bought also, this was back part, I think this was $12. So this really, I'll flip this over here, but I think you guys get the idea. The speedometer and everything goes in there, in the cups that I showed you outside. And then this is the plastic housing that goes on like that to protect your wires. And this gets wired onto the front of the bike. So that's the big thing that's been missing. I see, I've never seen a reproduction one, but I've seen some that are in just awesome shape, and the speedometer and tachometer work and everything else, and they're $250 on eBay. So I'm trying to do it myself, save a little money. Hopefully I won't regret that too much. I think I can do it. It's just, you know, given time. So, all right, guys. Going kind of long right now, but I think that's about it for what I've worked on for, I think this is day 4. I do have to start traveling again for work. So I'll only be able to work on it on Saturdays now. So I don't know if I'll get as much done as I want to during the week. But slowly but surely, I'm not in a big hurry right now. I'll keep getting the little itsy bitsy parts that I will need to bring this guy back to life. And she should be a real beaut once I get there. Thanks for watching. Till next time.